and has publicly stated that it will pay for all cleanup costs. Experts say oil companies have made promises like this before in the past and have been slow in carrying them out, if they carried them out at all.
I would point out that if you're a believer in the Bible, one would have to say the Great Flood is an example of climate change.
In reality, this process of creating money only redistributes wealth from the bottom to the top of the pyramid.
You know, we're having so much fun today. We're talking about fossil fuel follies.
Oh, and there's a rich vein of stuff to tap into there.
I know.
Oh my God, the material.
Make sure you check out the videos before and after this one. I am Darin Howard.
I am Robert Nisbet.
And I'm Monica Solmer.
You know what? We did allow girls in the treehouse here today, and it's a good thing because we got great things to talk about the way activism is winning. But right now, we have a message from our sponsor.
I love this. I love this.
Here at Exxon, we hate your children. We all know the climate crisis will rip their world apart, but we don't care because it's making us rich. That's right. Every year, Congress gives the fossil fuel industry over $10 billion in subsidies. That's your tax dollars lining our pockets. Making a fortune destroying your kids' future? At Exxon, that's what we call good business. ExxonHatesYourChildren.com.
Yes, I like it when it turns out like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, you know, they are pressuring local Arkansas TV stations to pull that ad.
Gee,
really?
I wonder why.
But you know what? The information revolution is winning the war right now. I don't think they got a chance of putting a pipeline through anywhere in Canada.
I don't think so either.
I mean, unless if they, of course, they ignore the people.
Which they usually do anyway, you know, because... You know, we're not part of the economy.
No, we're consuming. Okay, so we're going to keep doing this. We're going to talk about energy and oil here, kind of an extended show. It's Radio Free Canada. It takes a look at Christy Clark's and Stephen Harper's Nightmare. Welcome. Thanks for being a part of the show.
Last week, an Exxon Mobil pipeline burst, spilling out thousands of barrels of crude oil into Mayflower, Arkansas, damaging homes, lands, waters, and wildlife. 22 homes were evacuated as a result of the rupture. Though ExxonMobil is currently working on cleaning up the spill and has publicly stated that it will pay for all cleanup costs, experts say oil companies have made promises like this before in the past and have been slow in carrying them out, if they carried them out at all. In a statement to Press TV, ExxonMobil said it is, quote, paying for the cleanup and will honor all valid claims, and further states that the cause of the spill is under investigation. Additional concerns include health effects on the residents of the neighborhoods in which the oil spilled. Also, the issue of legal accountability has been raised. Due to a 1980 law, oil companies do not have to pay taxes to clean up tar sands oil, as it is not technically classified as oil.
To be under the IRS laws, they're not judged to be oil. They're considered chemically different. And what that means is that companies that are importing and transporting tar sands don't have to pay into our National Oil Spill Liability Fund.
This corrosive oil is the same kind that will be transported in the controversial Keystone XL pipeline, which cuts through the United States, sparking fears over the damage it might do should it also burst. The Keystone Pipeline is 9 times the size of the pipeline which ruptured in Arkansas. Momentum against the Keystone Pipeline has been building. Last month, tens of thousands of protesters descended on Washington to demand President Obama stop the pipeline's construction. Marjan Ossi, Press TV, Washington.
So basically, you get a pat on the back for being a steaming pile of corporate nightmare.
Exactly.
Okay, and they're saying that because it's crude, it's not classified as oil?
Hang on, it's not crude. It's bitumen.
Oh, okay, so that's not oil.
It's sand.
Oh.
It was a sand spill in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're preventing people from flying over and taking pictures of the sand spill.
Yes, having private security there to keep reporters out.
It's sort of like down in the States, like that story that you gave me, the documentary about the cover-up.
Oh, the BP oil spill.
Yeah,
oh,
BP
yeah.
oil is being covered up right now. What you don't know is you can't even go into the area without getting stopped by the cops.
Yeah.
To take a look at all the oil-covered birds and stuff that are still in Mississippi, still in Texas. Okay, but...
Come on down. It's a great place to vacation.
I know, and they'll feed that fish to the tune of $3 billion a year to all the Canadian citizens, or to any citizen eating in a franchise seafood place.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going down south, don't even think about eating franchise seafood.
No.
Okay, that's a major warning.
And I think this may have some impact on the tourism in Louisiana.
You think?
Just a little?
I mean, do you really want to go to their shores and soak up their environment now?
Well, Obama went down there to swim in the Gulf, but he didn't really. It was a photo op that was staged.
Yes.
Did he even touch the water?
No.
I don't know.
Wouldn't allow his kids in it, that's for damn sure.
So, not to ask a obvious question, but if they know about all of this environmental factors, why are we spending money on environmentally showing that the pipeline is safe?
Well, it's sort of like that lobbying thing. Okay, if enough lawyers get enough attitude and opinion in there, the government official just gets rolled over.
Yeah.
Because they can't put up, you got 30 lawyers giving you pieces of paper saying, we're going to sue you for these reasons. And then the poor politician who went in there with a good heart just gets rolled underneath all of those things. That's why lobbyists should be prevented from attacking our governments.
Well, you know what they say? They say that the Washington congressional people, that's just training for their real jobs on K Street as lobbyists.
Because as soon as you leave government and you're one of the pro-oil guys, you get a 1,000% pay raise.
Oh. I'm in the wrong industry.
Exactly.
I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, so the sober second thought now. Okay, you'd say if you're a right winger, if you're a logical person, I mean the GOP, they must be on this, right?
Yeah, they're right all over it. They're talking about climate change.
Okay, so while we roll our heads in our
well, these are really solid guys, right?
I mean, yeah, GOP, Republicans, right?
Yeah.
Solid guys.
Senator Joe Barton of Texas.
Let's check it out.
Texas Republican Representative Joe Barton, he today a hearing on the Keystone XL pipeline on legislation that the Republican and House Republicans are trying to put forth to override President Obama's authority to approve or disapprove the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline. They want to override that, and in this hearing today, this is what Representative Joe Barton had to say.
Yeah. People like me that support hydrocarbon development don't deny that the climate is changing. I think you could have an honest difference of opinion on what's causing that change without automatically being either all in that it's all because of mankind or it's all just natural. I think there is a divergence of evidence. I would point out that if you're a believer in the Bible, one would have to say the Great Flood is an example of climate change. And that certainly wasn't because mankind had overdeveloped hydrocarbon energy.
These people really believe that there was a great flood, that really happened.
He really believes that.
And that it's proof that there's no climate change, no man-made climate change.
And if Noah could build that ark, why did it take then 2,000 more years for him to find the United States? Why did it...
Good point.
There you go.
If he could build that ark back then, why couldn't they discover the new world? So that's why, and yes, so I like how he says that we can have an honest difference of opinion on the causes of climate change, unless you want to use science. Then there is no honest difference of opinion. There's just the ignorant, moronic, oil company bought and paid for opinion, and then there's the scientific, accurate opinion.
I get nervous.
What?
I get nervous when I hear people substantiate their opinion using a book.
I know
that's been edited more than it's been reprinted.
Yes. Then re-edited under very poor lighting conditions as well. Let's not forget that.
You know what? The Bible's got a lot of really good lessons in it, and if you take it as a group of analogies, you're doing fine.
You're doing
fine. But when you're
yeah.
saying it's historical fact, or we can base climate change issues off of it, man,
you kind of lose me there.
You lost any intellect. Okay, I mean, any modern spiritualist would just shake their head and go, "I'm sorry." Quit banging that book.
Of course, you know who funds that congressman's coffers.
Who?
Well, let's see. Maybe the oil industry.
Yeah, just maybe. GOP guys.
Actually, Joe Barton was known for protecting BP after the 2011 oil spill or 2010 oil spill. Yeah.
Okay, so he stood up.
Don't spank BP so much.
They just spilled some oil.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
Oh.
There's a 1,000-mile radius lake of oil in the Gulf of Mexico right now. It just sits about 700 meters below the surface. BP is spraying dispersants into that. And if you really want to take a look at a health scare and a health nightmare, realize that all of the seafood coming out of the Gulf now is contaminated with oil and dispersants.
Yeah, and apparently that dispersant's more toxic than oil.
It is, okay? You're exposed to it. There's one documentary guy that went down there with his wife. His wife is exposed to the atmosphere, just regular humidity, and she starts getting rashes. She goes into the doctor, and he says, yeah, it's from the dispersant. We know all about it.
Oh.
And they've got tumors, open sores, huge, air problems, lung problems from the way they clean this nonsense up.
And, of course, the people they use to clean up the oil spill.
Oh.
Convicts.
Well, probably minimum wage.
No, convicts. Slave labor.
$1 a day labor.
Oh.
Okay, so when you look at the prison industrial complex getting in with oil, okay, and they benefit off of that, and it's just slave labor, straight up. Okay, but people are waking up all around the world right now, and they're standing their ground. So we have to say congratulations to all those people who are preventing pipelines from being built right now, because we do have a future, and we have to start protecting ourselves against the corporate nightmare.
Oh, but don't you know what Obama said? All energy options are on the table.
Yeah,
this is not a conspiracy theory. This is reality.
Yes. Okay, and then what do you do with that? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You eat a good meal.
Yeah.
So you're hardy to deal with this.
And you can feel good because when you're changing the world, you're changing it for the better. Unless, of course, you're a greedy, selfish SOB. But that's just my opinion. What are we going to do next here, brother?
Should we talk about the Boston Massacre?
Oh, my goodness. Apparently, there's only one story in the United States right now.
Well, and I don't think it's been shared enough.
No, I'm terribly uninformed about everything that's going on.
Well, we have some different information.
No way.
No, say it's not so. Remember, get involved. Join us on our Facebook group. Make sure you like and share because you care. I am Darin Howard.
I am Robert Nisbet.
And I'm Monica Solmark.
It is so good to be here with you, and it's great to be at work today because we're taking our time talking about those things major media refuses to talk about. We're going to be right back talking about terror. Terror!
Oh, no.
Terror.
Oh,
Kill
yeah.
the Muslims.
Since 1971, when President Nixon took the United States off what was left of the gold standard, the world has operated under a system of money called fiat. The dollar, the pound, the euro are all government fiat currencies. Fiat is a Latin word meaning let it be so. It is the law that this government currency be money. Indeed, without that legal enforcement, and the fact that we must pay taxes in this money, that dollar bill or that computer digit that represents a dollar would be pretty much meaningless. Only the government has the power to issue fiat money, but banks can create it through lending. If somebody wants to borrow $10, a bank can create it from nowhere and lend it. It can then charge interest. Banks also create money by lending against an asset, such as a house. They're given the deeds to the house, and they create the money out of nowhere and lend it, at interest, of course. But who benefits? Of course, those that have the power to issue money, governments and banks. They haven't had to do anything productive, they just create money. However money is created, be it through lending, fractional reserve banking, financial bailouts, or old-fashioned money printing, banks are always at or near the top of the money-issuing pyramid. In reality, this process of creating money only redistributes wealth from the bottom to the top of the pyramid, and thus that ever-increasing gulf between rich and poor gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
The Conservative government stopped debate on Bill C-474 without hearing the whole story. The GMOs are bad for you. Genetically modified organics are threatening the food system in Canada, and Bill C-474 could protect you. In December of 2010, our government is voting on Bill C-474. It's a real chance for our future. Please read about it, then join us.